other things, we're in the office and we're on our own, on the computer, YouTube, watching a video on YouTube, I'm listening, I'm looking at it, Sheikh, lecture. It's haram. You're getting paid for your work if your boss has allowed you, fine. But your job is to work, and your job is to do something on the computer, do accounts or whatever, and do the office work. And you're there, you're thinking, oh, let me listen to Al-Imam Al-Haram, Sheikh Abdurrahman Sudais, so I'm listening to this lecture, amazing lecture. You're thinking you're doing some good ibadah. That's haram. Unlawful money coming. This is what we call tatfif. Responsibility of the worker, the employer and the employee. Both have responsibilities. The boss has the responsibility. The manager has a responsibility. أَعْطُ الْأَجِيرَ أَجَرَهُ قَبْلَ أَنْ يَجِفَّ عَرَقَهُ. Give your employee his salary, his wages, before his sweat is dry. Don't make him wait. As soon as a month ends, give his salary. Give his salary. But then the worker needs to realize that it is sweat as well. Sometimes he's just relaxing in the office. So it's both sides. This is what we call tatfif. So these are rules about tatfif. And then we have a lot of the basic rules about fraud, about deception, about lying. These are major diseases in business and trade. There's a hadith in Sunan of Imam al-Tirmidhi, where the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said there's three types of people. ثَلَاثَةٌ لَا يَنْظُرُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. Allah will not even look at them on the day of judgment. One of them is الْمُنْفِقُ سِلْعَتَهُ بِالْحَلِفِ الْكَاذِبِ. The one who sells his commodity, his goods, with a false oath. With a false oath. Brother, for you it's only £4. It's just for you it's only £4. Brother, it's for you it's only £4. And it was really only for you £4, because for everybody else it was £3. And you're thinking if everybody else is £10, for you it's £3, £4. But it's people deceive, it's haram. I'm just making 10 pence profit. Don't tell them if you don't want to tell them, but don't lie. Absolutely haram. Absolutely haram. Rishwa, bribery is haram. It's prevalent in our communities and our societies. In Muslim countries, in Muslim lands, in subcontinent, in many of the Muslim countries. Al-rashi wal-murtashi kilahuma fi an-nar. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the taker of the bribe, the giver of the bribe, both are in the fire of hell. Al-rashi wal-murtashi kilahuma fi an-nar. So this hadith about al-munfiqu sil'atahu bil-halif al-kadhib, lying, shahadatul zur. There's one hadith where the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that when two people, when they buy and sell, فَإِنْ صَدَّقَا وَبَيَّنَا فَإِنْ صَدَّقَا وَبَيَّنَا بُورِكَ لَهُمَا فِي بَيْعِهِمَا. If the buyer and the seller, if both of them, they are truthful, they make everything clear, they are truthful, they declare and disclose everything just clear cut, Allah will give barakah in their business. Both of them. وَإِن كَتَمَا, if they both hide, and if they both وَكَذَبَا, if they both lie, or if they hide, they fail to disclose the information, مُحِقَتْ بَرَكَةُ بَيْعِهِمَا. The barakah, and I told you what barakah means, right? I explained to you. The barakah of their business is taken away. There's a hadith in the Sunan of Imam ibn Majah that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said about that whoever sells man ba'a mabi'an ayban lam yubayyinhu lam yazal fi maqtillah. Look at this hadith. Whoever sells an item which has a defect. You sold a car, but there's something wrong with the engine, or there's something wrong somewhere, and you did not disclose it. Lam yubayyinhu. Hadith, sound. Lam yazal fi maqtillah. This individual will remain in the wrath of Allah. How many times we sell, we try to get away with it, we hide it. There's a scratch there, but he won't see it. It's haram, it's unlawful. These are business dealings, basic business dealings. Man ghashana falaysa minna. The one who cheats is not from us. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, the one who cheats is not from us. artificial adding with, sometimes you add things or you make it, deception. This is all deception. Any form of deception is not haram. It's haram, it's not halal. One of the imams of this ummah, Imam Abu Hanifa radiallahu anhu, he used to be a businessman. He used to be a businessman. He used to have a business. He had workers that he had employed. So one day he went to his shop. He used to be a textile business, clothing. So he said, "How's things going? What's happened?" And he asked one of the workers. There was one particular garment or clothing, a roll of clothing, that had a slight defect in it. It had a slight defect in it. So he came, he knew about it, so he came into the shop, and he said, "What?" He didn't see it. He said, "What happened? Sold?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Who did you sell it to? How did you sell it?" Because I got it at the standard price. He said, "How?" Well, the person, he didn't really realize. He looked at it, he liked it, so I didn't tell him. He said, "A'udhu billah, thumma a'udhu billah." I mean, this is haram. How can you do that? He said, "Who was it?" He said, "I don't know." Imam Abu Hanifa radiallahu anhu in Kufa. He himself for 3 days traveled the whole of Kufa, going from alleyway, from street to street, road to street, announcing, anyone who came to my shop, he took some of the workers as well in. Who's come, bought this clothing on this time, shop. Who came, please, we want to know who you are. And finally they located the man, and then they told him, "Look brother, this had a defect in it, this clothing. If you want it for this price, you can have it. If you don't, if you want to give it all back to us, or if you want to give him all the options." These were the great imams of this ummah. They didn't become great imams of hadith and fiqh and all of that just because they learned all the rules of Islam and that's it. This is what makes a Muslim first and foremost. We need to become human beings before we become religious, righteous people. Basic aspects of humanity. And I'm coming to an end, inshallah. And there are many other things, but there's just a couple of things which I'm just going to end with about this, is that there's another important rule. I mean, we can go on and on with these rules. We know about khamr, that's haram as well. Khamr, hurimat alaykum al-khamr. Alcohol, haram. We know that. I don't need to go into that. Muslims should not be selling. Again, about alcohol. La'anallahu. There's a curse of Allah on the drinker of alcohol, the provider, the server. You can't work in a club or a pub. You can't serve it. Asiraha wa mu'siraha. The one, any form of direct contact in an alcohol-based transaction. You have to work in a supermarket where you have to stack on the shelves bottles of wine, brandy, whiskey. It's haram. Muslims can't do that. The income is haram. Right? I mean, this is very important. You can't have a shop wherein you sell yourself, or you can't work where you have direct contact with alcohol consumption. You can't work in a restaurant. And unfortunately, in England, we have some communities where there are a lot of Muslims who actually have restaurants, their own restaurants, and they're serving and selling alcohol. And some of them say, "It's so difficult, customers don't come." Customers don't come. Next life, don't you think you're here for 50, 60 years? You're worried about customers of 60 years, and you're not worried about 600 million years of fire, of hell? I mean, is there any logic or reasoning behind that? So we need to really realize this, that look, these are rules. These are rules that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Quran placed, Islam places. I'll mention another story, just about Al-Imam Abu Hanifa. There was one scholar of the subcontinent, Al-Imam Ashraf al-Ithanwi rahimahullah. He was a great scholar, he was known as Hakim al-Ummah, the wise man of the community. It's written about him that, he, luggage, and I'm going to end with this, when he used to travel on the trains. Do you guys have trains here? No. Do you travel on the train? Yeah. You have trains here? No, why I'm asking this, because some countries don't. They're not that popular. If you go to America, Canada, trains are not popular, really. I mean, they're starting. I was just there in Canada 2-3 weeks ago, and they were saying that they want, because it's a massive country, big land, so they're not popular. In England, we have just London. If you come to London Underground Tube Network is one of the most sophisticated in the world. I don't know if you've traveled. It's just amazing. You can travel the whole of London. It's underground. The whole thing runs underneath. But anyway, he was traveling. Now, he came with all his luggage. Now, this was in India, subcontinent, which means before partitions in the subcontinent. He was traveling, and he came to the station with all his luggage. Now, if you have excess luggage, you have to wait. You have to wait and pay the premium. You can take a certain amount of kg, right? Don't try to bribe the guy at the desk of your airport. You're at Oslo airport and say, okay, yeah. Don't try to do that. If you do that, I mean, you probably get arrested here. In the West, you probably do, and that's good, alhamdulillah. Allah's given some of these people more sense than people in our lands, in the Muslim lands. You can go to any of the Muslim countries, and the guy is doing it. I mean, he'll probably tamper with a meter to make your luggage seem excessive and over the mark, so that you pay him some money. And sometimes, this is a ruling, fiqh ruling, sometimes we have no choice. If our basic legal right is being denied from us, I said the giver of the bribe and the taker both, yes. But if in a situation where you have a legal right and someone's just bothering you, he's just troubling you because he wants that money, and you've not done anything wrong, you're not breaking the law, nothing, then in that case, to give it just for the sake of saving yourself from the bother and trouble, the scholars have ruled based on the evidences that is permissible. But find out before you do so. But bribery. Now he was at the weighing. He was weighing the luggage. The worker there said, "Oh, this is the greatest sheikh of the area. Imam, you weighing all your luggage. You don't have to weigh luggage." He said, "Sheikh, Imam, you don't have to weigh. You're special. You're the sheikh." Someone like me would say, "Yeah, I'm the sheikh. I don't need to weigh. I'm the great sheikh." How can you be a sheikh if you do those kind of things? You can't. There's no rules. One for the imam and another rule for someone else. He said, "You don't need to." He goes, "Look, I'm boss. I'm in charge. I'm the conductor here. Don't worry. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay. It's in. Just you can go free. Take all your luggage." He said, "But brother, where are you till?" He said, "Don't worry, I'm till the next, the 5th station. I'm the conductor on this train." He said, "But I'll need to carry on traveling. After that, what will happen?" He said, "Don't worry, my friend, colleague will come. I'll tell him, I'll sort it all out for you. Don't worry, Sheikh, you don't have to worry. I'll sort everything out. I'll tell him, he'll sort it all out." He said, "How long will he be there on the train?" He said, "He'll be there till the next destination." He said, "But I need to carry on." He said, "Don't worry, he'll sort it. I'll talk to the 3 conductors." Because the next conductor, how long will he be there? He said, "Don't worry, he's until the end of the train, so you're sorted." Because my train doesn't end. I have to go to Allah. Will that conductor come with me to Allah as well in my grave? Will that conductor come with me in my grave? Will he come in the grave as well? And when Allah will ask me the question, will that conductor come with me and answer Allah on my behalf to Allah as well? It's haram. You can't do that. These are basic things sometimes we don't realize. I'm going to end with this one final last point about these rules. There are other basic small rules, but we don't have the time, like gharar, deception, we talked about that, and things like that. Creating monopolies, there are laws about creating monopolies in the community, in the industry, where someone who takes advantage of the situation, and people are in extreme harm. The Messenger ﷺ said, "La tanajishu." He said about talaq al-jalab, all these hadiths that, for example, there's a particular item that's scarce, that's rare, and